prepare and we'll go and we'll do our best. We'll put them under pressure. The game is about being effective, being aggressive, winning the ball, getting on with the play. We'll put them under pressure.
Hello, let's get this right. Hello and welcome to Thfc, to the Day Your Home at Tottenham past, present, and exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. And excuse my throat, Dermatron is getting a bit of a sore throat, and that is not a good sign. When Dermatron gets a sore throat, that means Dermatron is coming down with something. So yeah, but I want to play this for Tequila. He has asked for it in the chat, so Tequila, this is for you. That is Tequila when he wakes up in the morning and wants his breakfast. That's what he says. Bring me that breakfast. But how are you guys? And welcome to another episode. And really, it is game time nearly. We've got the big game course tomorrow night against Chelsea. And we, instead of doing our normal member stuff, we're actually going to talk about our predicted lineup with you guys today. And that's and we're going to go through a little bit. It's also Ayrton Senna's 30th anniversary of his passing from the San Marino Grand Prix. I was 17 when he passed, when he crashed. So we're going to go. We're going to start off with that. Also, it's the 30th anniversary also of Roland Ratzenberger passing away as well on the day before. And it was 12 years since Formula One had a fatality, but that was a black weekend for Formula One. That had Barrichello's accident on Friday when he went into a fence at I think it was 130, 140 miles an hour. Literally went above the tyre wall and just broke his nose. And then Ratzenberger died Saturday when he hit a concrete wall at 150 miles an hour. And then Ayrton Senna died going around Tamburello at 180 miles an hour. And the thing about that, Philip, right, is if it was a centimetre higher or a centimetre lower, he would have walked away from that crash.
Right.
A bit of suspension hit him in the right place, in the right area of his helmet, and that's what did him. But if it was an inch higher or an inch lower, he would have walked away. He didn't have a broken bone in his body.
Okay. Yeah, so, it just shows the small margins.
Yeah, he was my sports hero, and I'll never forget the 1st of May 1994. I came home from mass that day, and I ran home, and my mum said to me, "Look, your driver's gone into the wall," and it was just really, very sad. But let's welcome a few. But firstly, how are you, Mr. Brady?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. Not a bother.
You don't sound very happy. Is it because you've got Chelsea tomorrow night, or is it because you've been on the phone to Daniel Levy?
Huh?
Have you been on the phone to Daniel Levy, or have you been on the phone to the Mafia Association board? What's wrong with Mr. Brady?
No, I think that they blocked my numbers. No, I'll tell you, I'm a bit anxious about Chelsea tomorrow night. In fact, I'm more than a bit anxious. Having seen how well they played against Villa, you know, I just think they were using the Villa's high line to their advantage, and they'll do the same again tomorrow night. So hopefully I'm wrong, but it's going to be a tricky game.
Yeah. Now, I apologise. I look a bit washy. I cannot get my OBS camera right. For some reason, I don't look as fresh, and I don't look as smart as Mr. Brady does. I just look like I'm an alien.
I was wearing, you wouldn't call me smart.
Pardon?
Yeah. I said, if you saw what I was wearing, you wouldn't call me smart.
Are you wearing that dress again?
See, bloody high heels are a killer.
I say they are. They are. Anyway, big up to GJ Samuel. He says, my sources are telling me Tottenham are looking into Marcus Rashford. I've asked the question, so I've sent it to our source. But Philip, what do you reckon? Yeah or nay? If it was true, would you be happy for us going after him?
Do you know, I suppose that the stock answer would be, Jesus, no, I don't want to go anywhere near our club. But I think Rashford needs a change of scenery. And while I think he's one of the untouchables at Manchester United, I wouldn't be too upset if he came to Tottenham, but I don't see it happening.
No. Do you know what, Philip? Neither do I, but football's a funny old game, isn't it?
Hilarious. Yeah.
So who used to say that years ago, I wonder?
Funny old game.
Yeah. We've got Brian Maguire, no fit left backs at Spurs. Oh.
Well, we'll have to use either Van de Ven or what you call him? Emerson. They're the only two that can go into that role, I think. Unless you're bringing one of the young lads. But the under 21s have a match tomorrow night as well, I think. So.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So I didn't know. We've got Davies is out. We're going to go through that. Tequila says, bring me in Thanos, which I already did for you. Says, sweet mate. Chris says, 30 years ago, we tragically lost Ayrton Senna. There will never be anyone like him, one of a kind. He was one of the reasons I fell in love with Formula One. I'm going to have my look saying him in a minute. Talk about bad luck. Senna is the greatest of all time. He is. He's even better than Schumacher, in my opinion. Phil's trying to buy Levy out. Going to start a GoFundMe to raise $6 billion. I back you, Phil. There you go.
Start off with 50p, won't we?
Yeah, but Philip, we know something them lot know, and we can't say anything yet. But we do know something them lot don't know, and it's quite funny. But it can be quite smoke.
Yeah, well, let's just say, to give a clue, we're not scowling or we're not frowning about this.
No. When I told, when me and Philip got there, we had to work this out ourselves, didn't we? To be fair, it took a lot of digging. It took Philip to explain to me the world of finances, which Philip is a Jedi master at. That's a good thing, by the way, Philip. That's a Star Wars reference.
Okay, I think it was.
Once you're a Jedi master, you're the top of the tree. So there you go.
All right,
you're the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the finance world, and that's a good thing.
Right.
We've got Brian. Yeah, we've got Brian Maguire. I've heard United want 68 million.
Wouldn't pay that for him.
No. Look, Philip. Can you just go to the rest of the chats, Philip? I'm just going to try something different. Sorry.
Derek Hutchinson. Oops, hang on. Where am I? Where's my mouse working? Hang on. Sorry. Yeah. Derek Hutchinson saying, good afternoon, Dermot and Philip. Hey, Derek. And Tequila. Lots of great nightclubs in London. It'd be a dream move for him. Yeah, I think Ange might have something to say about that. And Matthew is in. Big up Comrade Dermot and Comrade Philip. How are you, Matthew? And Matthew, Philip net worth got leaked to 7.5 trillion. Shush, shush, shush. Don't be telling everybody. Actually, I saw a good way, just been talking about Ange there. You know the way there's a lot of the Spurs fans, or I use fans, the word loosely, want Ange out. Well, they've come up with the name for the Ange in and Ange out brigade. The Ange in brigade are called evangelists, which is a very good play on words. And the Ange out brigade are called Ange Gnostics, which is another good play on words. So that's the way. So which
are you worth 75 trillion? 7.5 trillion?
No, only 7.4, but don't tell anybody.
Kept that bloody quiet. Right, what are we talking about today? Of course, we're on the 1st of May, Philip. It's the end of season month. It's the end of season month, isn't it? Big Ipswich are a point away from going up.
They're on the verge.
Leicester won the championship.
I was talking to a Leeds fan last night who's very, very upset about it. Like he thought Leeds had the shoe in the Premiership, and now they're going to scrape into well, not going to scrape into. They're going to have to play off against probably someone like who's going to come sixth, Norwich or someone like that. You know, so tricky.
It is tricky. We're going to talk about Spurs injury news because that will go down with the what's about there, and then we're going to talk about the predicted lineup. Me and Philip are going to go through that, and then BetMGM. And news coming out today, what they're going to be doing with Spurs. Now, Mr. Brady, we are going to, of course, start with, I know this is not football related and something that you know, but we are going to start with the 30th anniversary of the death of Ayrton Senna. 3 times world champion, absolutely the greatest driver of all time. The reason I fell in love with Formula One was seeing this man. For me, Philip, he's the only man I know that could jump out of a car in the middle of a track to help another driver to save his life, right? And also on the flip side of that, he ran Alain Prost off the road at the start of the Grand Prix and risked both their lives.
Yeah.
So
he
was a very complicated individual, a very big Christian, did a lot for charity in Brazil. Did a lot for the young children over there. And for me, that man, for me, you can talk about Michael Schumacher, you can talk about Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, and all them. That Ayrton Senna, for me, is the greatest Formula One driver of all time. I mean, he was something else. I mean, he had 65 pole positions, which was a record until Schumacher broke it. 80 podiums, 610 points. 3 world championships, 88, 1991. He raced for Toman, Lotus, McLaren, and Williams, where he lost his life. 162 and 161 starts. He first entered Formula One in 1984 at the Brazilian Grand Prix. His first win was a year later. His last win, of course, was at the 1993 Australian Grand Prix, and he tragically died in 1994, third race of the season. Philip, look, if you look at big star people, the greats like Muhammad Ali or Jimmy Greaves and Senna and say Jack Nicholson of golf and Neil Botham of cricket, there's very few people that are up at that top level of sport, isn't there? Do you feel? I know you don't. I know you've heard the name Senna, but do you feel that for him to still be regarded now as the greatest ever driver ahead of Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton, does that say something about him?
Yeah, well, of course, he was driving at a time where there wasn't the ultimate safety that there is now. It was a lot more dangerous driving Formula One in those days compared to now. So, you know, if you put him up against Verstappen today or whatever, I'd say he would beat the pants off him. Yeah, you know, and he probably is the greatest of all time. Sorry, just one tick down. Hold on, a bit of noisy in the background. Stop it.
Okay. Just to add to that, look, for me, it's like Jimmy Greaves was the greatest striker in the world Tottenham has ever had. I know Harry Kane beat his record, but if you were to put the 2 and 2 together, Jimmy Greaves would be above that. But for me, Ayrton Senna, for me, was something. He was the reason I fell in love with Formula One. It's like Jimmy Greaves is probably the reason why you really fell in love with football and him as a player, Philip. Do you know he was your sporting hero?
Yeah.
This is he's my sporting hero. You can go like Muhammad Ali and that, but it's very. I mean, he was driving in cars, Philip, with a brake horsepower of 1,200 brake horsepower, where today they're only driving around not even 1,000.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It was a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, he was driving in a car where he can literally punch through the money where they sit. He could punch a hole through it, your fist through it.
Yeah. But it's only accidents like his that have brought the safety standards up. Yeah,
there is. And I'll tell you a story behind that. A year before, or 2 years, I think it was 2 years before, Gerhard Berger had a massive crash at the same corner where he died. And it's on YouTube, but his car burst into flames. He got out with burns. And Ayrton Senna, Senna rang Gerhard Berger and said to him, right, we need to go and look at this corner at Tamburello, see what we can do to make it safer. And they looked over a wall, and there's a river at the back of the wall. And they said, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Nobody thought about putting chicane in that corner. And the Tamburello back in the day was a fast 180 mile an hour, foot to the floor. Do you know? No lifting. And do you know, he did change. His death changed Formula One to what it is now.
Yeah.
So what he did in life, he made the sport the biggest sport ever. In death, he's probably made it safe for a lot more drivers.
Yeah.
Though we have had fatalities since then. I think he's
made not nearly as many. Not nearly as many.
No. But yeah, I just wanted to start with that. It is 30 years today, and I do you know what? I find it a little sad that he's not around. But I did put a video up in the for you members to watch. I can put it out on the normal channel because we would get copyrighted to hell, but I can use it as a members video. And it is Top Gear's Tribute Center. I would recommend anyone go and watch that. Members definitely do hit a like button and that for me, guys, because it would mean quite a lot. Philip, let's get back onto Tottenham. Let's get back into something you want to talk about and a little bit more happier circumstances than that. But I wanted to start in that, Philip.
No, that's all right. No, he deserves a tribute like that.
Yeah. Injuries, Philip. Spurs' injury list.
2 more.
Yeah. Well, Ben Davies is out. And Werner's out for the season now with a hamstring injury. Ben Davies is going to miss Thursday's game. We've got Foster, Davis, Segi, Destiny, Werner, and Solomon all out for the season. And there's a doubt over Skippy. Do you think Ange is trying to? Do you think Davis? Do you think he's not injured? But they've said after his display on Sunday that they've said, right, you're not playing for me again this season.
No, he's injured. He's injured. No, he's injured. Why would they put if that was the case, they'd just drop him? They would make up a scare, but an injury. He must be injured. He must be injured. Werner, we know he's injured even off with his hamstring. So
yeah.
But we have to. 5 games left. We just have to get on with it. I mean, this is the time of the season. Most teams are suffering with, knocks and niggles and whatever, and it's part of the game, and we just have to rejig that back forward to make sure. I think Royale will do a better job than Davis did anyway. So
yeah,
he's a better defender.
I think so too. And look, we've had some news that Davis and Reguilón are going in the summer, Philip. We've got Tucson that is available on a free. Do you know, could this be the last game we saw Davis play for the club? And is it right to get rid of him? Do you think we need to get rid of all these players that were there under Poch and Mourinho and Conte and move this old squad out sort of thing?
But if we get rid of Ben Davis, we need to bring in another left back because we don't have enough of them. We only have Destiny as a designated left back. Royale is more a right back. So if he signed a 3-year contract, he still has a year and a half to go, as far as I know. And if he goes, fair enough. If he stays, fair enough. That's my. He's decent player to have there in the squad, but not only playing when you have to. But you see, if we sell him, we're going to have to spend millions to bring in a replacement. who's going to be a bench player because Udoji's going to be the left back.
Yeah, but the thing is, for the Ben Davies isn't good enough. He wasn't good enough on that was about. Oh, Tony Britton is something. I saw an article and I wasn't sure.
Oh, I meant to say that Terry Medwin
yeah.
died this morning. Yeah.
Was he part of the double side?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So there's only 2 left now.
Yeah.
Cliff Jones and Les Allen.
Les Allen, yeah. Tough.
It is.
Actually, I came across a video. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a Pathé News video, 7 minutes in colour, about that 61 final against Leicester.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's worth looking up.
I will do. Look, we might as well talk about it now, Philip, because I had my say on the player. I mean, is it sad, the 61 side, Philip, is it sad that they're all passing away and we haven't really won another championship? Is it sad that we haven't done something while they were alive?
It's okay. I know they won a few trophies when they were alive, but like, what are we talking about? 63 years ago, those players were all in their 20s. They're all, anyone that's left now is Cliff Jones. I think is 88 or 89. So they're all like, there's not okay. Cliff Jones, like, he could still play for us. He's that fit looking, you know.
Yeah.
But it is sad that they've all passed, you know. And I mean, I'm sure they would have loved Tottenham to win another league title. It's funny, if Terry Medwin had lived another year, he may just have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. What sort of player was he back in the day?
He was a winger. He wouldn't have been, you know, one of the big names in the squad. He'd be a bit like Ben Davies, if you like. You know, he'd be kind of a squad player. But in those days, you couldn't play substitutes. So Terry Dyson and himself would have been the winger. Terry Dyson would have been the better of the two of them. Yeah. And Dyson scored the hat-trick in the the Cup Winners' Cup final, you know, in 63. So he was. Now I believe Terry also the club may have been looking after him in his later years as well, some medical issues and whatever. So I think Tottenham do an awful lot of that behind the scenes, which is never recognised, but an important part of the rehab or the therapy they give to players that gave their all. But let's face it, the amount of players playing in the 60s that are now either died of or suffering from dementia and from heading those heavy balls is serious, you know. Not only Spurs players, but a lot of other teams. Do you think there's
a link there, Philip? Do you think there has to be a link?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I mean, you think about it, in the last, 2 years, we've lost the Charlton brothers because of it.
Yeah.
We've lost Jimmy Greaves. Well, not because of that, but we did lose Jimmy Greaves a couple of years ago. We've lost Terry Medwin today. We've lost some of the. Who else passed away?
Who else was gone? Morris Norman, the centre half. He died last year.
At the end of last year.
Yeah, Ron Henry's gone. Peter Baker's gone. They're all as you say. There's only 2 of them left.
Which is really sad. The likes of the Charlton brothers are going to get more newsworthy, Philip.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah.
But is it sad that these players like Terry Medwin doesn't get a big announcement on Sky Sports News or Sky News?
Well, he'll get a mention. He will get a mention on this, and deservedly so. But no, he wouldn't be being as big a name, obviously, as Bobby Charlton or Jack Charlton or any of the other players of that era that have gone because of that. Now, I'm not saying it actually killed them, but it was a contributing factor to their state in latter years.
Yeah,
you know, and I mean, would have been 87, 88. So I mean, that's normal lifespan anyway. So
also, Ange in his press conference joked, Philip, that he's off to Sweden next season because they have no VAR.
I think that's because Sweden doesn't have VAR. I think that was a subtle hint at Michael Oliver. You know.
Yeah. Now, I watched My Cup last night on YouTube. There was clips coming up, right? And I meant to put it into the show today, and I didn't get around to it. But I put it up on our community page of the 3 different... It was founded on X last night. I put it up on our community page on our channel. It's about the conversation between the referee and VAR.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. What did it say?
I can't remember. You need to go look in the community page on our channel to find out. That's why I said I did. The to be honest with you, Philip, I'm feeling quite unwell today, so I haven't done what I normally done. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. And that's why my throat is killing me. So what I might do, Philip, can you take over and I'll go where you are? And I bring up the stuff because my throat is absolutely killing me and I'm finding it hard to talk.
Yeah,
do you want to start about VAR and Oliver sort of?
Well,
do you feel it's a disgrace, Philip? Do you feel it's a disgrace of where VAR and the referee and official of the game is?
Well, I think it's very pointed that Howard Webb Jones is a singer. Howard Webb came out last night and had to apologize for Michael Oliver missing the penalty. Well, now the bit when I was reading it first, I thought, hang on, is this the penalty he actually VAR gave in the end, or is this the one he missed in the first half on Kulu? But of course, it was the one that VAR had time to come back on. There wasn't a mention about the other mistakes, which I think a consensus are that it was a penalty when Kulu was thrown down and taken down. And that had such consequences for us. You know, can you just imagine the furore it would have been in Sky if Arsenal had gone and scored, which they did through Saka, right? And they pulled it back and gave a penalty to Tottenham. that would have been just, you know.
No,
but that's what should have happened.
It should have done.
Yeah,
now, VDV's goal, I'm so convinced, Philip, it's still onside.
It hit two Arsenal players on the way through. Now, how they can say it wasn't intentional, I just do not know. But that's down to your man Gillette as well as Howard, as Michael Oliver, because I think that was a scandalous decision. West Ham scored against us in exactly the same circumstances earlier in the season. The goal was allowed. Exactly. But where is the consistency?
Right.
You know, it's just
right. I'm going to bring this up, Philip. You can start the conversation. Sorry, it's just my throat's killing me, so it's easy for you to go through. Also, do you want to go through this and then I bring up the line?
We've done like most of these players that have been out. We know Foster's been out for the season. Sessegnon's been out for the last 5 seasons. Udogie, we're unlucky. We're missing him badly. Werner injured on Saturday or on Sunday, came off very early in the match. And Solomon's been out forever as well. So, and Oliver Skip being a doubt, I have to quite laugh at that. He wouldn't have been playing anyway, so how can he be a doubt? So I suppose it is what it is. We've got to make the most of it. We have enough cover in most of those positions. Left back is the one that's a little bit dodgy. We're okay up front. And as I said, the likes of Sessegnon and Solomon have been out for so long, you'd hardly even know they were at the club, you know?
Right, Philip, out of that lot, who will be at the club next season?
I think Foster's contract is up, so he'll probably be gone. Davis, we're saying, will probably be gone. Sessegnon will definitely be gone. Udogie won't. Werner, I hope we keep him. I really do. And Solomon will be at the club because his contract is 2028. Oliver Skip, I'd say he's probably on the question mark list whether he'll be gone or not. He may keep him as a squad player.
Now, this is our team, Philip. Now, I picked this predicted lineup. This is the first time, second time Philip's seen it. So, do you want to go through the team, Philip, and then we'll sort of get your thoughts on it? I'm
not going to disagree too strongly with this at all. I think Vicario in goal. Bit concerned about the lack of support, lack of cover for Vicario at corners. We've got to get that sorted out, you know. And by the way, can I just mention that I used to think there was a lot of players in the league I used to rate as the most obnoxious. I've got a new candidate for that. It's Ben White of Arsenal, the guy with the fake suntan. I think you see his antics on Sunday trying to put Son off taking the penalty.
Yeah,
it's hit. Anyway, back at the ranch. Pedro Porro, picks himself a right back. Romero would walk into any team in the world with his performance on Sunday. Van de Ven, likewise. And the right backs, or the left back situation is tricky. Emerson is probably the only other recognised fullback we have fit. Now, there is a train of thought that might want to put Van de Ven out there. I don't know. We'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if Van de Ven did play left back against Chelsea, and then we play what do you call him? The new guy. Yeah.
The Dragon.
Dragon Ragusan, as the other centre half. But then again, he's not really played that much, and it's a bit of a London derby to put him in there. Might be a bit too much, but we'll see. Now, midfield, Basuma and Sarr. they really need to up their game, those two. They've slipped off the pace quite a bit recently. But then again, the alternatives are Bentancur and Højbjerg. Now, Højbjerg did not, we put faith in him on Sunday. He let us down, I'm afraid. With that goal, he was on the wrong side of the Arsenal player for the goal he scored and didn't have a good performance. So I'll give Basuma and Sarr the benefit of the doubt. They're probably the best two we have at the minute. Now, up front, Johnson and Son out on the wings, right? And I think Maddison has been so poor lately. I think he deserves time on the bench. Maybe let him come on later on as an impact sub. Might get his mojo back a bit. But I would play Kulu in the middle. Now, failing Kulu, I would put the Chelsea in there. Because the Chelsea, the rumor is that he will not be leaving in the summer. They may well be staying. So we'll have to wait and see. So maybe if that's the case, then I would leave Johnson and Son where they are with Kulu on the bench and the Celso coming in there. But we need a target man up front, and we need Richie up front tomorrow against Chelsea. We really do. We cannot be playing Son down the middle. We have wingers, but we've no one to cross the ball to when Son is playing centre forward. So we need Richie up there front. So yeah, Dermot, I'd pretty much go along with that team, other than maybe the odd little tweak here and there.
Yeah. Just give us 2 minutes, Philip. I've just got some news coming in, so I just want to get it up.
I'll carry on with the chat here while I'm doing that.
Yeah, hang on. I'm coming in now. Actually, I've just done it. Hang on. I've just gone it now. This is Chelsea news, guys. We've got coming up here. So let me get this right. Let me take that off, Philip. That Antonio Conte is favourite to replace Pochettino at Chelsea if they decide to do the dispense of his services are no longer required.
Madness.
So
madness. He's supposed to agree to go to Napoli next season.
Yeah. Well, I've just been told Antonio Conte is favourite to replace Pochettino at Chelsea if they decide his services are no longer required.
Do you know something? I hope you're right. You let him come back and fuck Chelsea up as well as he fucked us up.
Yeah. And also Tottenham are waiting to the summer to decide on Werner's fate for next season, Philip. That's the other bit of
Well, I think what they should do with Werner is get the loan extended for another season, and that would leave both. That's the best option for Spurs, I think.
Yeah. So that is the breaking news. Antonio Conte is favourite to replace Poch at Chelsea if they decide his services are no.
That club just gets more like a circus every day.
Now, I've got no sympathy for Pochettino. Really don't. Would you have thought Mourinho would have been a better? No disrespect to Conte, but do you think Mourinho would have been a better choice if they had to bring back somebody? Wouldn't Mourinho be a better choice instead of Conte?
Never go back, Dermot. Never go back. That's my.
But they are going to go back. So I'm just saying.
Why not? No. What's the story? He's going to Napoli. He can't go to both clubs. Is he touting himself around that? Maybe he's trying to get Chelsea to move their hand by saying, "I'm going to go to Napoli unless I hear from you guys." But I think him going back to Chelsea is madness.
No, the point is that if you're a Chelsea fan, right?
Yeah.
I know you're not, Philip, but please bear with me and just pretend to be a Chelsea fan. I know you're going to have to go and wash your clothes now and have a shower and get all that Chelsea dirt off you. I know that, sorry. But if you had a choice between Mourinho and Conte coming back, who would you pick?
Neither of them. But anyway, I suppose if I had to make a choice, it would probably be Mourinho because I do not want to see Conte. When I hear the word Antonio Conte, I feel like getting sick from what he did to us last season.
Exactly. And also, Philip, the early doors TV's just come in. West Ham with David Moyes. Do you think he's been? I'd ask this question, Philip. Do you think he's been disrespected at West Ham for what he's done?
I think Moyes has done a great job at West Ham. I mean, I'm not a West Ham fan. I don't know the ins and outs of what's going on there. But on the face of it, he won them a trophy last season. He's got them sitting fairly okay in the league. I mean, other managers have gone to West Ham and have been struggling to avoid relegation. So I don't know what the problem is with David Moyes. Okay, he's not brilliant. He's not an absolute genius, but he's a good, steady manager and a decent guy as well. I don't think that any people can have anything really bad to say about him.
No. Do you want to go through the chat there, Philip? I know you said you're going to go. Sorry.
Yeah, we're about to get started. Can you bring it up and I'll read this?
I've just got some other news I'm reading through, Philip. Sorry. I don't mean to be. So we'll start from there now. Oh, no, start from there because Derek Hutchison come in. So big up to Derek.
Harry Winks is a winner's medal. Yeah, and fair dues to them. Leicester have done very well to win the championship. And I know Harry Winks wasn't our favourite player at Tottenham, but he's gone to Leicester, which is more his level, to be honest. And fair dues, he's got a medal, and good luck to the lad.
Sorry, I'm just reading this news I've got, and I can use it.
I'll go back and bring these up then. I don't know where we've.
I'm just putting it up for you there, Philip.
Davies is finished. I'm not so sure about Werner, Derek. I think Werner will be at Tottenham.
There you go. I'm bringing them up for you, Philip. It's okay.
Okay. Let's see what's the next one. Tequila saying, surely Van der Vee has got to be left back and drag in the middle. Why did we buy drag if not for situations like this? Good points, yeah. Good. I think it is entirely possible that we might see Van der Ven at left back tomorrow night, and Dragusin. We'll see. Be worth a shot. Terry came from Swansea with Mel Hopkins. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Back in the end of the 1950s, I think that was. And Cliff Jones cost 75 grand. Can you imagine what Cliff Jones would fetch today? Jeez.
I know.
Million.
Yeah. Sorry, Philip. This is from Colin. Big up to Colin. Big one to Tony Young as well. Thanks for joining us, Tony. Sorry.
VAR is not the problem. It's the people operating the VAR that are the issue. That I've always said that, Colin. Each person has their own interpretation, where it should be as a set rule across the board to take human error out of VAR. Exactly. And hopefully this new 3D thing that's coming in October will do a lot of that away, right? Because, VAR is a brilliant system, but it's been let down by the operators.
Now,
right.
do you feel on Sunday, if the new system was in for offside, that that goal would have stood if the new system was in on that new?
It should have stood anyway, regardless of what system is in, because the ball hit two Arsenal players on the way through, and that's enough to play him onside. So yeah, it would have probably, but it should have stood on Sunday anyway.
Why did VAR then come to that conclusion then, Philip? Why did they ignore the law?
You want to ask Jared Gillette that. You want to ask that. You want to ask the powers that be. Is there a conspiracy theory that to make sure Arsenal keep challenging for the title? Because let's face it, that would have brought the game back to 1-1, and it could have been a totally different outcome in that match.
Now, did you see the video? They brought out the video evidence for the Forest-Everton game.
No, I didn't see that, no.
Right. The penalty that should have been a penalty. Michael Oliver, when it went to VAR, he kept saying to the VAR, it isn't a penalty. It's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. And he kept repeating himself. He was trying to...
Was Michael Oliver involved in that game as well?
Yeah.
So there's a pattern here.
He was trying to influence VAR.
He shouldn't do that. No. VAR should be influencing him by giving him the directive, not the other way around, because he's not looking at the way they are.
Yeah. Do you agree with Ange that games I agree with him that games are being refereed from Stockley Park? Yeah. They're not being refereed on the game anymore.
Referees are scared of making a decision now. They're letting VAR do it. Yeah.
Do you miss the old days?
Huh?
I hate saying that. Do you miss the good old days?
Well, okay, we might have given out about wrong offside decisions and whatever, but there weren't that many of them. You know, really, when you think about it, there's far more contentious VAR decisions now than there used to be. Because the simple reason was, the chances are you didn't get to look at it that often on TV. They might have shown it once or twice. There was no lines drawn and there was no forensic examination of an offside decision. So you more or less just got on with it. Now every offside decision has been forensically examined and takes forever to do it. So
you're looking at that. You're looking at Gillette and Oliver again. How can you defend these referees for that? I mean, goal line technology, I agree with. There should be technology there to see if the ball crosses the line. I agree with that. I also agree there should be some sort of system in that if it's a really tight penalty decision, that there should be help there for a referee to make up his mind. Yeah. But you cannot have it in. They would say, if it, like at the Chelsea game, we've got two players sent off, Philip. Yeah. Romero should not have been sent off. That happened a week later. The same tackle, penalty given, player got a yellow card. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So there's no. I don't know what they say. There are referees that have agendas against certain clubs. Yeah. Be it whatever. Like I'm sure in the referee's questionnaire, they have to say what teams they support or what team they supported as a kid. I'd say half of them lying through their teeth. I'd say so. I say so. And I tell you one thing, Philip, I do not want it. I want it gone. I want it gone. Look, if a referee makes a mistake during the game, we can moan about it and then we move on.
That's it. You move on. Yeah.
It goes on and on.
It's happening too often, and not just to Tottenham. Nottingham Forest, very hard done by.
Yeah.
So if you can name nearly every team in the league, but it all goes back to the Liverpool game. We have not got a decision went our way since that game.
That wasn't our fault, though. It wasn't our fault, though.
I know it wasn't, but we're still paying the price for it.
I know.
Because we dare defend the mighty Liverpool.
Yeah. Right. Before we get to Beyond 72, I have breaking news for you about Ange and Daniel Levy and a little meeting they had. Now, as you can see on the screen, guys, so I'm just going to move us around a little bit only just for this instant. Right, it says here, this is part of it. I will read out the rest, but this is the last paragraph of it. And she said, let me get the players and I will deliver trophies. That's the last bit of the paragraph. Right, the rest of it is in a private meeting consistent of Ange, Daniel Levy, and members of the board. Ange has stated to the hierarchy that he requires another season of backing to improve on this season, basically stating, let me get the players and I will deliver trophies.
Love it. Absolutely love it. That's the mentality we've got. And the fact that he's saying it to the board means he's more or less saying, lads, back me. Managers weren't always backed in the past. Do it now or we're going to we're going to be the bridesmaids again and again and again. But you look after the players that I want. You get me the players I want and I will deliver. I actually love that. That's so positive.
Isn't it positive?
Up to the board now to take it on board.
Yeah. Now, isn't it great that Daniel and that everyone's together? Because you wouldn't have got Conte sitting with the board or Mourinho or maybe Pochettino, yes. But Pochettino, I felt, was too much. Pochettino, for me, was too much of a yes man. Where Conte was more of too much of the other way. I think Ange is the right balance between the two managers, if you know what I mean.
Conte was talking out of both sides of his mouth at the same time.
Yeah, well, we know
different things.
Yeah. Mourinho is just Mourinho.
Yeah, well, you're not going to change.
But did you hear what Van der Ven called Ange the other day? He's called him a father figure.
Yeah.
That's what he's called him.
Yeah. I mean, the players love Ange, whereas they couldn't stand Conte. And they're going to perform better for Ange than they are for Conte. So I love to see that. Let me get the players. It's like, again, Dermot, I keep going back to the Kevin Costner Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come. And that's it. They've been trophies.
Is there Bill Nick about this?
Yeah.
You see, I could say it's a bit of Keith Birkinshaw about this, Philip. But you remember the great man. You remember the great sides of the 60s and 70s. Is there a Bill Nick? Do you? I said to you at the start of the season when Ange took over that there was an 80 feels about this Tottenham side. There's a bit of Glenn Hoddle in there. There's a bit of Steve Perriman, a bit of Graham Roberts. There's a little bit of Paul Miller and Ray Clements. Do you know what I mean? There's a bit of Ozzy in there.
Yeah.
Do you get the same feeling, but for the Bill Nix time in charge? Do you get that feeling?
Well, obviously, it was different in Bill Nix time. There wasn't the social media. You didn't hear that much coming. You depend on what you heard in the paper. You read in the papers, or heard on the radio, or whatever. But it seems to me that Ange knows that he's got maybe 65, 70% of a trophy-winning team there.
Yeah.
And what he's looking for now is the extra 25, 30%.
Yeah.
And if he gets that, I've always said next season is one. If I was the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool and Man United, I would be watching out for Tottenham next season, providing these players come in.
Yeah. Do you get that little glow in your tummy? That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting it. Yeah.
Do you start thinking back? I saw this back in the 60s. Like I said, I saw this back in the 80s. Do you see it like back then and 70s and the early 70s? Is there any players in that Spurs team, Philip, now that you can go back and say, he reminds me of that player of the 60s and 70s or 80s? Well,
Christian Romero is the nearest thing to Dave Mackay that we've had, I think.
And Graham Roberts.
Yeah. We've got, who else we got? I think Vicario is becoming out of Pat Jennings.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
Odoji is becoming like
Chris
Hughton or Cyril Knowles, going way back. We've got the midfield. I'm hoping that James Maddison will become like Luka Modric.
Yeah.
But maybe that might be a bit too much to ask for. We're looking at Brennan Johnson. Is it going to be? I know he's a different physique altogether, but Tony Galvin.
Do you know what? I actually thought of that. Have been thinking that. Yeah. I've said it before. He reminds me of Tony Galvin. There's a bit of Gareth Bale about him. There's also a bit of Tony Galvin about him.
Yeah. What we need is a Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah. We need a Jimmy Greaves.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Jimmy Greaves
we did have one.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Harry's watching Tottenham now thinking, do you know what? Should I have left?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but they did well last night. They drew 2-2 with home to Real Madrid, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But do you think with him teaching Arthur Rowe teaching? No, what's his name?
Puskas.
Puskas taught Arthur Rowe. Was it Arthur?
Arthur Rowe taught Puskas, and Puskas taught Ange. Yeah.
Can you just see the circle coming full circle again?
That'd be great, wouldn't it? It would be great, Great.
Do you see all these Ange? What's Ange outs called again?
Agnostics.
All right, these Agnostics, right?
Yeah.
Do you think us evangelists, right? As we now, me and Philip can be called in. That's what me and Philip are going to be christened, evangelists. Do you think? Do you know what? There's something special here. There's something in the air. And I know we hate losing to Arsenal, but if you look back in the season as a whole, Philip, it's been chalk and cheese to last season.
Compared to last season. I know we had a great start. Then we had that blip in the middle when we got players injured and suspended and what have you. But I think, as we keep saying it, we've been bored of hearing this. None of us really expected us to be sitting where we are at this stage in the first season. And we've done extremely well to get where we are. I know Champions League is still looking a bit doubtful, really. Yeah. We've been realistic about it. But 5th place, Europa League, I think will be a better spot for us to be next season because we'll be in with teams that we can beat regularly and maybe even bring that trophy home. Go to the Champions League. It's going to be the usual suspects are going to get through to the semi-final. The Real Madrids, the Man Cities, the Bayern Munichs. We might not just be at that standard next season, but Europa League will be a great test for us.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got more breaking news for you, Philip. This is breaking news show this has turned into. Maybe I should rename it Newsbeat, the breaking news show. And we are going to get back to the chat. And I'll change you back here, Philip, because I'm going to let you take over the chat in a minute. Striker Jonathan David has reportedly been talking to family members in regards to a potential move to the Premier League. A source close to David's family has said Jonathan, wants to move to an English club and wants to be a part of a project. Would love to live in the country's capital. Both Tottenham and Manchester United are reportedly considering a move for the striker in the summer.
Right, okay. Who does he play for?
Top of my head, I don't know, Philip. Sorry.
The name all right.
Would you? I mean, I think that's a good move for me. He's a good player. He is a very good player.
Yeah, I was looking at Jonathan David. That's him. Because that many players, we're going to be linked with every striker that's on the market now. You know that.
Yeah. Right. While you're looking that up, I'll get through some of the chat. Beyond 72, I want to win a trophy again, so I don't want Werner or any player who can't finish at Spurs.
Yeah, Werner can cross though.
Yeah, he can. Early Doors Football TV, big up Early Doors, and I love the stuff you've been doing. I've been watching you in the Sunday evening. Sometimes I might get involved, sometimes I don't, but I love watching your content. It's great stuff, so everyone please get over there. Good afternoon to Dermot and Philip. Hope pair of you are well. My throat's killing me, but Philip, how are you, sir?
Yeah, it's John Grand. Yeah, you want me to keep reading those, Dermot?
Yeah, please, if you don't mind, Philip.
Yeah. Just looking at Jonathan David here. He's 24-year-old Canadian national, plays actually born in Brooklyn, but he plays for Canada. He's playing for Lille in France. And he's only 5'9", which isn't that big for a striker. But anyway, we needed a hitman up front.
How big was Jimmy Greaves?
5'8", but Jimmy Greaves was a fox in the box. He wasn't a header of the ball. He was more I think we need a target man, someone that can head the ball in the air. Right, Jim. I don't know where I'm starting. Can you bring him up?
Yeah, here I've got it here from here, Philip.
Early doors,
That's it.
afternoon, everyone in the chat. Yeah. And 3 years in Europe. Problem is fans want a different style of football. Can't please all, they say. Don't know. I think David Moyes, he probably won't survive, but I hope he does.
No.
And Colin was saying, because they've stated the Spurs goal that was called offside was in the same phase of play, they're using legal terms to cover the mistakes. Yeah, always go legal when you made the balls of things.
Yeah, that's it.
Dragging these nuts. Gillette is an Aussie who screwed us over every game he's involved. I was going to say it's a close shave when Gillette's refereeing us, but anyway, I won't. Derek Hutchinson, VAR is open to abuse. Being VAR, spot on.
Yeah.
Chris Loney, hi Chris. DeSalzi and Silva both had injuries for Chelsea. Well, that's good. Silva's going anyway at the end of the season. DeSalzi's a big miss for them. Colin again.
Oh, sorry, this is from Tequila. Sorry for that.
Oh, yeah. Is Lenny moving to Andrew, Sweden with Ange? No, don't think so. That's only a rumour. And Colin was saying, how do you think we feel? 5 pens against us in the last 6 games, in the last few minutes of them, 4 of which wasn't handball. There you go. I haven't looked at them all, Colin, but I'm sure, you have a point. But mind you, a couple of them were pens, but maybe not all of them. And Brian Maguire saying, big question is, will the board listen? They will. They'll have to. And Lee's Phil didn't use Waterworld. Right, okay.
That's a bad film, Philip. That is a film you do not want to watch.
No, I don't want to. And Tony Young saying, very much like Bill has, was about before. Very much like Bill has, what was about before Bill. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I think when Bill took over, there was a nucleus of a winning side there. It's like what Bill
had. Well, I mean, they won the league in 51. This is 8 years later. So there was. He was starting to build up the double team, Blanchflower and Smith and them boys, So, yeah. But Bill was at the club when he was appointed. He was a coach, And do you think it's time for Son to move on? I think we'll discuss that at the end of the season, Dermot. I think that's a very valid question. I think we'll come back to that.
It's a good debate show, that, actually.
Very valid question. We'll come back to that, Derek. And Brian Maguire saying Romero should be captain.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
It's very hard to get off Sonny, but if Sonny leaves, Romero will be captain, I think,
Yeah.
I'm agnostic, but not agnostic. Yeah, right. Point taken. And Boris Britt, we have to remember Arsenal at the start of the rebuild with Arteta lost to Spurs each and every time until last year when they got it working so well in the squad. Not every time. They beat us at their place last season before we beat them 3, where we drew.
But saying that, Philip, we've only won 1 out of our last North London derbies against Arsenal.
Yeah, I know. But Arteta finished 8th in 2 seasons running with them when he started. So give Ange a bit of time. We'll be where Arsenal is next season, hopefully 1 spot higher when the season ends. And Daniel is saying, big up Dermatron. Philip?
Listen, everyone, please go on, Philip. You're a better salesman than me about picking up the membership. So why should they?
Our figures are moving up, lads, but we need to get to 2,000 by the start of next season. So tell your friends, this is the impartial Tottenham channel where we say it as it is. We don't clickbait. We only deal in fact. We're down the middle regarding Levy and anything else to do with the chairman of the club. If he's good, he's good. If he's bad, he's bad, and we'll let him know about it. And just subscribe to the channel. You can come on our members only watch along, members only chat shows, which we're going to get going shortly. And Dermot especially puts a lot of work into this channel. And I think let's show him some love now and get the numbers up.
We do have a member show Friday, so please pick up your members. It's the only way to come on and talk to me and Philip. But you're talking to a legend in Philip and a bit of an idiot like me. So please, if 99 cents, it isn't a lot out of your day. It's not even a loaf of bread or a pint of milk. But we know times are hard out there, so do use your memberships. How old is he, Domo? 24. Talking about Jonathan David. Tony, hang on. So they're talking about him, so that's fine.
1957. I'm glad you were there before Bill Nixon took up the job, Tommy. That's a really fair dues to you. That's a great length of time. What's that? 66, 67 years nearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. And that's the link to our channel.
That's the link to the channel.
Link to me and Colin's gaming channel. Philip is part of the gaming channel as well. We're trying to convince them to get an Xbox or a PS4.
You'd be waiting for that, I'm afraid.
It's funny. We are going to get involved in that channel, Philip. We are actually some way,
I'll
shape, or
referee.
form.
I'll referee.
Yeah. A loaf for bread costs 75p. Well, look, it's 99 cents. Take it or leave it together. Do you know? If you don't pick up a membership, we'll send Philip round to see you.
No, don't be starting that again.
Yeah. Philip, a.k.a. the Godfather.
Exactly.
There you go, Philip.
You never run the club down, not like them. No, we will. No, we won't. We won't. I mean, we love the club too much to do that. We're not knee jerkers either. We don't, go off on a tangent just because we lose a match. We'll be critical.
We get angry, don't we,
Philip? Critical of things that we don't like, but objectively,
I mean, we do get angry. You do your after a loss, I'm leaving, which has become very comical now. It's the comical part of the watch along. Does Philip Brady leave within 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the game?
Oh, no.
I do love it. That's the tequilas. Big up tequila. Right, here we go. Boris Pitt, Philip.
We've also replaced the goals Kane scored last season without even having to push out huge amounts. And Son, Ricardos, and Kulu, Johnson, Madison combined at 42. Kane got 43. Yeah, I saw that somewhere else. We needed to spread the goals around. We were relying a bit too much on Harry Kane. But I can't help thinking, if Harry Kane had been there this season, what the story would have been. I think we wouldn't have lost a few of those matches that we did,
I've said that before, Philip.
And get a PS5, Phil. No, I'll pass on that for the minute, Tequila. If I bring any more technology into this house, I'll be shot. Anyway, that's the one. We read that one out, I think. Oh, yeah, we're not a one-man team. Yeah, that's very much the same comment. Yeah. We're not a one-man team. No, we're not. We never were, really, but we did rely a lot of people on Harry Kane, First time I see us was 1957. God, those were the days. The flat caps, the rosettes, and the rattles.
God, that's going back, Philip.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Now, Philip, we have a new sponsor. I think Mr. Brady's now decided to go. But
I have to. I'm afraid I have to leave, Dermot. I'm afraid I have to go. It's witching hour.
All right. Well, listen, I'll let you do that then. You go, Philip. I'll finish off.
Sorry about that.
Won't be too long. No problem.
I have a curfew here, and I'll talk to you later, Dermot. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Speak to you later, Philip. Take care. Bye. Okay, let you take you out there. Yeah, let me take you on. There's another bit of news coming in, guys. It's that BetMGM is about to become Tottenham's new official training wear partner of the Premier League at Tottenham Hotspur. So that was the other little bit of news we got. Do apologise, that's my alarm going off. But listen, guys, that is it for today. That is Newsbeat. Look, do hit the like button. Please do hit the subscription button if you can. Do pick up your memberships as well if you can for Friday's membership show if you can. I really would love to see a lot of you on the show on Friday. Joining me and Philip, where you get on for about 10-15 minutes, talk a little bit about the Chelsea game, talk a lot about the Liverpool game coming up. So please grab your memberships. You don't have to come on with your camera either. Pardon me. If you don't feel comfortable, turn your camera off, and it's 7 o'clock on Friday. And what we're going to try to do also for next season is to try to get you all, people that don't want to come on can come on from Discord. And we're going to sort of make it that you can ring in sort of thing and talk to us as well. So we're going to do it a little bit different than to how other channels do it. So please do pick up your memberships. 99 cents. It does make a lot. It makes a lot for me and Philip. Boris Brett said, messed up the first one, so I retyped it. It's dyslexia. Look, I've always said it, Boris, dyslexia is a bitch. I'm dyslexic myself, and it's a bitch, but there you go. Life, move on. We've got big up. We've got good luck, Philip. Take care, Philip. What time is it? Friday, 7 o'clock, tequila. Matthew, good night anyway. Big up to you, Matthew. Great to see you in the chat. Great, got a show tonight. If you're up to it, Dermo, 7:30. Yeah, but don't tell Mrs. Tron. Yeah, she's on. Yeah. And then, can I order a pizza, Dermo? Well, what pizza are you getting, tequila? Do you want a margarita? Do you want a cheeseburger pizza? Do you want what pizza are you going to have? But listen, thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button. Please hit the notification bell. We are back tomorrow, of course, we're back tomorrow night at 7:15 for the watch along for Chelsea against Spurs. I think I'm on Dave's tomorrow at 4, so there'll be no Newsbeat tomorrow. And then what we're going to do with the watch along is we're going to stay on for half an hour after the game and get you. And then if you want to come on and do it as a little bit of a fan show, if you want to come on, have your say on the game. You're more than welcome. We speak to you later. Come on, you Spurs. And Big Ange, we trust if I can find the outcome. Actually, I'll do this one. Take care. Come on, you Spurs. I actually won't because I'll get in trouble for that. Bye. Bye-bye.